For the eyes, I'm building a little circle in the center of the dove's head. If you are using glass eyes, make it the same size as them. To make sure that both sides of the head are symmetrical, you can just poke a coarse needle straight to the head, making markings on the other side. I'm marking the center and also the high points of all the sides of my circle. If you are using glass eyes, you can now glue them in and take a little break, but I'm gonna show you how to create eyes using wool. There are doves with yellow, orange, red, and even really dark irises, so you can make your own artistic choice. I'm mixing my desired shade by using yellow, orange, and caramel toned wool. I'm just taking all the tones and stacking them together and pulling and stacking and pulling again until they are evenly mixed. Now take tiny amount and rub it in between your palms and fingers until you get a ball that is slightly bigger than the hole you made for the eye. I suggest you make 2 balls at the same time, one for each eye, just to make sure they are symmetrical. Place the ball in the eye draft and felt it down. I'm using my 38 spiral needle here and moving on to my 40 gauge triangle. Make sure you don't forget to point the needle towards the center from all sides to make the shape really round. Felt the iris completely flat. Now take tiny amount of black wool. Rub it in between your fingers to create a ball. It should be half of the size of the iris. Felt it down in the center of the iris. And repeat the process for the other eye. And that's how you create the eyes yourself. Now let's move on to adding some cheeks. I'm creating a tiny cloud. Remember that you can always add some more wool later, so start small. When the fibers are entangled a bit, I can now place the cheek on the face of my dove. Notice how I'm overlapping the eye a bit. I'm felting it down using my 38 needle and then moving on onto my 40. If you are using glass eyes, be careful not to hit them with your needles. Needles can break really easily like this. Repeat this process on the other side. Now let's make the upper eyelids. I'm taking small piece of white wool and pre-felting it a tiny bit, just a couple of steps. And then I'm placing it over the upper part of the eye, overlapping it just a tiny bit. Felt it down and be careful if you are using glass eyes. Repeat the process on the other side. Take a small strand of light gray or light brown wool and felt it around the edge of the eye. Fold it on both sides to create the inner and outer corner of the eye. To make the eye stand out a little bit more, you can fill the area around it a little bit deeper. This will give space for more shadows and overall creates more natural look. If you made your own beaks together with me, then you will notice that we left quite long wire there, so now we have to cut it off. I'm leaving it just under 1 centimeter. Now I'm deciding on the position of the beak on the face and using a really coarse needle, making a hole. Add some glue on the wire and base of the beak and then attach it to your dough. Let the glue dry completely before moving on. To integrate it with the face a little bit more, I like to add some white wool around it. Take just a tiny amount, you can always add more later, and felt it down, pointing your needle from the top of the beak. You can leave it a little bit fluffy for more natural look. Check the head from all sides and make sure you like the shape and blending everywhere.